Good evening, y'all. Good evening. It is Sunday. Deanna, what happened? Somebody come back. What happened? Something happened to that. Hi, y'all. But anyway, I am back. It is Sunday, and I am blessed to be here when we first get started. Open up. I'm sorry, I hit the other phone. I have two phones going at the same time. We come to believe that a power. I don't know what I hit because I didn't touch nothing. But anyway, we are going to get started because I want to. I want to get started. So anyway, let us open up with a moment of silence for the addicts who still suffer in and outside of these walls. You know, if it wasn't for the God of my understanding, I wouldn't be here. That's just simple. And I wanted to give a shout out to all the recovering addicts, all the ones that's struggling. You don't have to struggle. And I want to give a shout out. And I love giving a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program because it saved my life. And everybody know that when anything is go ahead and hit it. And when anything, when God save our lives and spare us and deliver us off of drugs, that is so amazing to me. You know, I see my sister evangelist Selena's on here. She's my biggest fan too. She comes on Tuesday night to bless the souls. So if you ain't doing nothing at 7 o'clock, go on there on Tuesday and get blessed. I promise you, you get blessed. I get blessed every Tuesday at 7 o'clock because she know what she's talking about. Shout out to the treatment facilities. Shout out to inpatient and outpatient. Shout out to the therapists. I always give my recognition to Sterling White, the best counselor I know that helped me in my process of helping me save my life and get myself together. For the ones all over the world, whoever you have lost due to addiction, due to overdose, I keep you in my prayers. That's every night. Because it isn't easy for the loved ones that's left behind to, saying goodbye or never get a chance to say goodbye to the ones they have lost due to addiction. That's why I tell y'all the addiction is real, because the evidence shows. The evidence shows that addiction is real and it's taking our people's lives, our kids and nieces and nephews and uncles and mothers and fathers. It almost took my life. It almost took your life. So, recovery is very needy right now for the ones that are still struggling. And to the ones that are struggling, you don't have to keep struggling. You only struggling because you want to struggle. Because this doors that's open that's ready for you to come in and get yourself together. Because I struggle. I was one of them people just like you who struggles, who didn't know nothing about recovery, who didn't know nothing about addiction. And I was tired of living in the darkness of this place that I did not like, but came to a point in my life that I had to get me together, And right now we clean in multiple years and people with months. And we still have our days. We still, I talked about, that Y'all don't know. People don't know. Y'all don't know for the ones who still drink and the ones that can get high and the ones that ain't where we at today. Y'all don't know how it is that even we fight off demons all the time. Every day, every other day. You know, we fight demons. We don't tell people. We just deal with what's going on and don't use in the aftermath. You know, so today we come to believe. Now, this one I really love because I didn't believe. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I didn't believe. I kept getting high. I kept being a praying addict, getting high. You know, people say that's absurd. Yes. But the disease is counting like that. The disease is what it says it is. It's counting, baffling, and empowered. That's what it says, and that's what it is. But I too struggled. I too didn't believe. I too was hopeless. I too didn't care. It says, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to some sanity. Well, I hadn't got there. When I admitted that I was powerless over my addiction and that my life, I still hadn't got there. I just knew I had to render to something. I knew that I had to find a way to get in so I can get some connection, so I can get better in my life. Because me telling myself I'm okay and me telling myself I'm all right and things ain't like it seems, you know, it burned itself out. It burned itself completely out because I wasn't okay. I was doing foolish things. I was messing up friendships. I was messing up lives. I was messing up, you know, my life. So when I get to a point, you know, I had to go through a bunch of change, different change to get to a point. Y'all need to cut the air conditioner on, please. Y'all need to get to a point to where, you know, I had to change some things in the way I think. I had to. Not for you, not for my mama, not for my sisters and brothers. I had to really get a connection with the God of my understanding to get me to the point to where now, you know, I'm dealing with one step. And one step would be for the rest of my life. You know, I'm powerless over the addiction. I already know that. I ain't never getting off that step. Matter of fact, I ain't never getting off none of these steps because all these steps help me. All these steps identify what's going on with me. All these steps helps me to where when I meet new people and get in new relationships or deal with other people outside of me, it helps me identify better what's going on, because it was a time in my life I didn't care what was going on. I took what I can get, settle for what I thought I could settle for, and that was it. I don't have to do that no more. These steps taught me to better myself, to look at myself, to be honest with myself. So when we come to believe, I didn't always believe. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I was still getting high. I was a praying addict. I knew it was a God. I knew that he loved me, but I hadn't got the connection with him. I hadn't even identified that I needed him. All I wanted to do was use. All I wanted to do was get high. All I wanted to do was forget. You know, I had to get to a point where I was tired. I was tired of being in the darkness. I was tired of trying to fit in with everybody else. I was tired of going around people's places and things that didn't mean me no good. I was tired of belittling myself to a standard to where I had no hope. I had no faith. You know, but I kept on and I kept on, and it was the God of my understanding that gave me a vision, that told me to pick up the yellow page. Every day I'm grateful for that, because had he not connected with me at that time, I would still probably be getting high. So, you know, come to believe. You know, I didn't always come to believe. I didn't want to believe. I just wanted to manage and control my own destiny, where my destiny was at the lowest it could get. But to me, it was my destiny. I had control. I'm in charge. But in charge of what? I had to go back and look. In charge of what? What was I in charge? Because everything that I was in charge of, it was messing up. It was crumbling up. You know, I was tired. I was just tired. So I had to come to a part in my life to get myself together and understand that somebody's phone is back here. and understand that I needed some help. So it says we come, or we came to believe. We came. We didn't do it right away. It was no way I could have did it right away. I was lost. I was lost so far back. I was lost and didn't understand what was going on. What is you needing, boy? Understanding that I had a path that I had to follow. I had to get myself together. No, it ain't easy, when you're looking in the mirror and you finally realize that you don't like what you see. You don't like what you have became. You didn't like pretending and lying to yourself over and over again. I know I didn't. I can only speak for me, and for the ones that are struggling, you don't have to struggle. You're only struggling because you want to. You're only struggling because you choose to. You're only struggling because you ain't asking for help. You're only struggling because you think you can fix and manage and control, just like all of us addicts did. All of us addicts did the same thing. We used until we got to the point in our life that we had got tired. It had beat us. You cannot win with drugs. There's no way in the world you can win with drugs. I'm just telling you straight up. If you think you so big and bad, why is people laying in the grave due to overdoses? That lets you know you can't win. You either going to die or you're going to wish you was dead because you're going to be paralyzed or crippled or something. So you have to take an ear to listen. We came because we wasn't always there. We came to believe. And once I start listening to the God of my understanding, once I went back down memory lane and thought about how he had saved my life, how he had came in and carried me, how he had, when I was struggling with his feelings and emotions, and that's what got me high, with feeling emotions, crying, couldn't stop, making bad decisions over bad decisions. We got to a point in my life to where, I really felt that I was a lost cause. And there ain't nothing that the God of my understanding created is a lost cause. Hey, Essay, I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you. I know for a fact, if it wasn't for the God of my understanding helping me deal with this addiction, I would have been dead a long time ago. And I promise y'all that. Because I used everything and anything to run, to hide, to isolate, to forget. I did that to myself. Nobody did it to me. Even the dope man. Even when I let the dope man come in or roll down the street and buy some dope, it wasn't on him. He was just doing what he's supposed to do because he going to go out anyway. Anytime a dope person keeps selling dope, their time running out too. So it might look like they gravy, they driving a nice car, got a nice house and a stack of money. But all that ends. It don't continue. Go back over your life and look at all the dope people that sold drugs and destroyed other people's lives and see where they at. I know the one that I was buying from, he been dead 15 years. See, it runs out. Nothing you do wrong is going to last, period. But I guarantee everything you do right is a blessing. It's a gift. And it's a reward. And my reward is I ain't picked up. I ain't picked up in over 35 years, going on 32. I haven't picked up. I ain't trying to pick up. I don't want to pick up. I got to deal with the emotions and feelings head on. I cannot drink. I cannot get high. Hey, I cannot. Hey, Esther, no matter what I'm feeling. Sometimes we get grandiose. Sometimes we come up to a point in our life, everything is gravy. Everything is good. See, them the things that I watch out for. Them the things I have to humble myself because I know how I used to get when things was good. Everything was right, moving too fast. And I found myself in a place to where I had to humble myself. Because remember, this disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Great things will happen to you. When we came to believe, that was the greatest thing that happened to me in the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I came to believe that a power so great could help me and can restore me to some sanity in my life. I looked at that. I had to look at that. Everything else failed. Everything I tried failed. Every lie told me, every lie somebody told me, it failed. And I came to believe. And I didn't always come. I didn't always came. I didn't always believe. I'm just being totally honest with you. I was a hard-headed. It took me a long time, but in that process, guess what happened? Could have happened. I could have died. My kids could have found me dead, to overdose like some people's have. And every time I think about somebody losing a kid, one of my best friends, she lost a daughter. I lost a son who had been dealing with drugs, and I lost him. And God sent him home to me from California to come here and for him to be in my atmosphere when he died. He went to sleep. He didn't suffer, but he was suffering. Sometimes the mental illness and depression, you can't see it. You can't see it. We came to believe that something in our lives that had to be much bigger than me. Because me had let me down, me had failed, me had lied to myself, me had put me in danger zone, me had put me in places that I shouldn't have been. Me. So I had to try something different. I had to try the God of my understanding, who I choose to call my God. I don't know what y'all have. All I know I used what's best for me. I was brought up in the house mentioning God all the time. I was brought up in the church in Mississippi. You go to church 7 days a week, but I thank God for all that. I thank God, Miss Peggy, my mother that's gone, bless her heart. It's been gone almost 12 years, that humbly have helped me and have helped me and Selena and Phil get on the right path. We had a praying mama, and I thank God for that, because had not me, Selena and Phil had that, we wouldn't be where we at today. We givers, we helpers, we overcomers. We turned our lives around. We help other people turn their lives around. And that's all due to the knowledge of having a good mother that raised us up, took us out of the cities and put us in the South just so we could have a better input on life. But sometimes we still go. Sometimes we'll still stray away and get into our own atmosphere that creates problems for us. And mine was dope. Mine was drugs. Mine was pills. Mine was alcohol. Everything that, this little commercial they had, little Mikey. Give it to little Mikey. Mikey will try. Well, I was that little Mikey because I wasn't scared of nothing. I had to set a point to show y'all how bad I am, how drunk I can get, and how I can take a whole bottle and drink it up. I'm so glad that memories still come back. We got a past. It's a past, but it's good that we go visit some of the crazy things that we done, like turning up a bottle of Thunderbird. And I thought Thunderbird was the stuff, but it wasn't. It was a cheap drink. It was a cheap drink that hit you real fast. My life was so confusing because I made it that way. And the change in my life to better myself, when I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me, I started working on something. I started believing in something. I started seeing a change in me. I started waking up different. I started going to bed different. I started going to meetings. I got me a sponsor, you know, and I watch everybody else. My sponsor, don't nobody know who my sponsor is today. And I'm 35 years clean. Don't nobody know. Ain't nobody supposed to have that privilege. To me, that's something personal. That's something personal that I treasure just for me. You know. So I had to learn, you know, when I came into treatment, I learned a lot of stuff, my do's and don'ts, and I won't, and I will. I had to learn all that. And when I came in treatment, I was they said little girls grow up. Guess what? In the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, that's why I love it so much, because it does everything that it says. It gives back, nurturing. It teaches you how to forgive. It teaches you how to love. It teaches you how to understand another individual. It teaches you how to control your temper. It teaches you how to not be so impulsive where you say things and do things that's out of your character. You know, 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous Narcotics Anonymous is the thing, because it helped me, but it helped many thousands of other people, many millions all over the world that goes to NA conventions, that goes to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous, the AA Anonymous, you got CA, Cocaine Anonymous, you got AA, Alcohol Anonymous, you got NA for all of it. NA, all narcotics, all everything. So, whatever God gave this person to write these different steps and the principles and the 12 traditions, you know, he did us a favor to help the new ones or the newcomers who's coming through this world. And after me, it's going to be some loved ones or some cousins or some more of my friends. They going to come in and not know about the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. That was the greatest gift I got. We came to believe. We had to. We had no choice. Well, I take that back, because I did have a choice. I could have kept bumping my head over and over again, or I could have bettered myself. And I choose, when you get high so long as I did, you better come to a point to start believing in something other than yourself, because I was a lost cause. Dressed up, under makeup, clean clothes, material things, but in the inside I was dying. You know, I wasn't dying right away. I was slowly committing suicide on a daily basis. Slowly not remembering what day it's going to be that I take a hit and I have a heart attack or a stroke, or I die in my active addiction, what day. So to me, that's taking, you know, making myself slowly committing suicide. And I don't need nobody to tell me about the mistakes I've done. I don't need my kids to bring up things that I've done. We as recovering addicts know what we've done. Now we, you know, in this disease, when we came to believe, I had to come to believe to a point to where, Lord, you got to show me how to forgive myself. Show me how to forgive myself. If I can forgive myself and people want to hold on to stuff that I've done and didn't do, you know. But, you know, I talk about this because it really it gets on my nerves how everybody can throw stones and look at everything that you've done. You did this. You wasn't this. This happened. I had a disease of an addiction. So quite naturally, I wasn't myself. Quite naturally, I missed some things. Quite naturally, I wasn't 100% whole, because I had a chemical dependency of drugs and alcohol. But then I look at y'all lives, and y'all still drink. Y'all still go with this woman or this man, or women's and men. Y'all still do what y'all need to do. Y'all still have addiction. But it's so quick. And I'm telling you on here tonight, stop letting people hold you hostage for something that you did in the past, because it'll keep you from growing. I ain't stopping growing. I love growing. And I'm not stopping growing. Whatever I did that you can't forgive me for, hold on to it. Stay sick. Keep lying and pretending like you okay. Like everything is okay, but I know the real story. I'm okay. I know how to remove myself. When I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me, that's exactly what he did. I let him work on me. I let him restore me. I let him tell me what to do. I let him send me to the places that I need to send. I let him help me pick out my sponsor. And evidently I picked out a good one because she's still my sponsor after all these years. I didn't want everybody's sponsor. 5, 10 people, 15 people got the same sponsor, and y'all all know who y'all sponsor is. That I wasn't going for. I can't do that. I ain't trying to be everybody's sponsor. Because I have to continue to find a way till I can sponsor myself and identify with myself. So if I pick up all these people that like something in me, that see something in me, then I won't have time for me. I'll be a nervous wreck because everybody ain't working on what I'm working on. I took this program very seriously because I didn't want to go back in it again. I didn't want to become another addict. I didn't want to keep using. I didn't want to keep bouncing in and out of recovery. I didn't want to disappear and then come back, disappear. No, this was for life for me. I know that I needed to believe in something greater than myself that could help me. And I needed to help. And look where it's got me. I'm clean. You know, my life, your life will never be the same as long as you step out on faith, get a power greater than yourself that can keep it real with you, that can check you in your head when you're doing wrong and doing some stupid stuff like I was doing. And you think I ain't grateful? You think I ain't gonna walk up with my head up high? You think I ain't got a better attitude within myself? You think I can't feel like I'm on top of the world when I worked so hard to pay the price to get here? I'm all that. Because I know where I came from. I know what it was to slam doors in my face, or to down talk me, or to misuse me, or to derate me. You know, you counted me out. But a God of my understanding while you was counting me out. And some people still counting me out. But one thing I love about the God of my understanding, that's why I love this step too. One thing I know about a God of understanding, that when people still count you out, God of your understanding and my understanding is still counting you in. Anybody that counts you out, that don't want to see you do good, don't want to see you get blessed, don't want to see you sober, don't want to see you change your life, God is still doing his business. I worked hard to get to where I'm at. I crossed some lines. I didn't settle for nothing. I crossed some lines, some boundaries. I did some stuff that I didn't think I would ever stoop that low to do, to get one more. I promise you I did. My life had become so unmanageable. But when I came to believe, just the thought of sitting back and coming to believe in something that was bigger than myself could help me. Because I was a dressed up lie. I was tired of making the makeup and dressing and acting like everything was okay. See, I'm not a pretender. I'm an overcomer. And I'm going to continue to be an overcomer. I will not lose to this disease of an addiction. I am not going back, no matter who go back. I'm going to stay alive as much as I can. He've already gave me many years because I stopped using. I started believing in myself. I started looking at my life and seeing what did I like about this change. You know what I like about this change? Can I tell you what I like about this change? Okay, the first thing I like about this change, I don't have no hangovers. The second thing about this change, when I came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity, is that I worked on myself enough to forgive. Forgive the people that hurt me. Forgive me for hurting somebody else. You know, I like this change when I come to believe that a power greater than myself could do some restoring in me. You know, I liked it. I liked it, y'all. I liked it that I can get up in the morning and not have to try to go to the bathroom and mess and realize I ain't got no tissue paper. Didn't have no money. But I like it that I can get up and I got many, many rolls of tissue paper now. Many rolls of tissue paper. There's so many rolls of tissue paper, I keep it down. Everything that I took for granted for in my life due to my addiction, I double whacked it. I keep plenty of tissue paper, paper towels, all in the basement, all upstairs. Everything that I neglected myself for, and it might not be big things to you, but it was mighty big to me. Anytime you got a mess and go in the bathroom and you realize you ain't got no tissue paper, and back then the tissue paper was 50 cents a roll, and I didn't even have a roll of tissue paper, so I had to use a paper bag. I had to use whatever I can get to get that mess out of me. That's how grateful I am. That's how grateful I am. And I'm telling you about this change. Why do I like this change when I come to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me? Let me tell you why. Because now you can talk about me and I'm okay. Now you can shut me out and you can deny me and I'm still okay. Now you can try to push my button so I can go back and pick up drugs and alcohol and I'm still okay. Now I got this solid mind to do great things and to do better things. Hey, Robin, to do better things and get myself together. Good to see you, baby. Hey, I realized that. I realized when I look back over our lives, when we sit back and just look at all the stupid and the most craziest things that we done in our addiction, and people think that you ain't supposed to be happy. You ain't supposed to have that happy. You know, they call me happy girl. You know, when I would go to the meetings and I hear something that I like and I felt like I was on top of the world. I felt like somebody had told my story. I felt like that person was me. It's just a different face, but it was still me. Yeah, I have so many happy moments. Because I choose. I come to believe. I gave somebody else a chance to work on me. I gave God a chance to look at me and show me what's wrong with me and why I couldn't stop picking up. I didn't know why I couldn't stop using. Only thing I knew, I was high. Only thing I knew, I didn't want to stop. Only thing I knew, that I love using. I love getting high. I had to be real with it. Why do you like getting high? Because I like the feeling. But the only thing that got me about that feeling, I wanted the same feeling when I took that first hit, but I never got it. So that's why I chased it all my life. That's why I was going to never get the first time, because anytime you do the thing for the first time, that's going to be the greatest high, the greatest feeling. But then you go on thinking you're going to get that same greatest high, that great feeling, you'll never get it. You'll be chasing it all your life. And you still ain't going to get that feeling that you got when you first was introduced to that drug of your choice. So I've come a long ways. You ain't got to like what I do. You ain't got to like how I change. I didn't change for you. I didn't heal for you. I come to believe that a power greater than myself can give me some hope, to show me some change, who can deliver me off of drugs and alcohol and any other kind of substance I was doing, because I did it all. You know, I didn't do none of that for nobody. Only person I did it was for me. That way I wouldn't fail at it. That way, you know, when I first started, let me keep it honest, when I first went in treatment, I said I did it for my kids. Because everything that I touched and tried to do for me, I failed. I lied. I didn't finish. I didn't finish. Do you hear what I'm saying? I didn't finish. I had many addictions. You know, that's why I told you when I come to believe, hey, Lily, good, baby, good to see you. We come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore it. Now, what is that saying? Well, first of all, if you come to believe, that means you moved yourself out the way. That means you have been in the way for a long, long time. You moved yourself out the way. And you let your God or your understanding, you start coming to believe that somebody greater than you, which I knew it was God for me, could help me. Because all I was doing was hindering me. I was destroying me. You know, and when he got to that point to where I let him in and I started believing that he could help me, my whole life started to change. My whole outlook on life started to change. I had to deal with me first. I couldn't help. I couldn't deal until I changed and worked on me. So when my kids that I love still hold me responsible for something I did, yeah, I did it. I was under the influence of the disease of an addiction. And I've been clean over 35 years. You can't hold me hostage no more. While you still holding on, I tell your peoples, whoever it is, some people just won't let you go. Some people act like they perfect. Some people act like they ain't never did nothing. Some people act like they ain't got a life that we clean and we looking at your life that ain't right. But we don't say nothing because we don't put it on that. We don't put it on TikTok. We don't put it on stuff. But I know. But why you holding on? Or why your daddy holding on? Why your mama holding on? We healing. We growing. You know, we been delivered. You know, we don't use drugs and alcohol no more. Sometimes the pain that got so great. Come on, Renee. Sometimes the pain that got so great. Out of all the years I've had, all the years I got clean. When that pain gets so great, like burying your son and your mother and your boyfriend and the 4 people that I knew that loved me to death. When I got to that pain, a part of me said, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it all the way to Mississippi. You gonna crack. For losing my mother, you gonna crack. Won't you go on and take a drink? Won't you go on and get high? The pain that got so great. I had to still remember that I am a recovering addict. I couldn't feel into the emotional feelings. I couldn't feel and get into my feelings. I had to look at, why am I feeling this way? Well, anytime you lose a mother, it hurts. Especially if you had a good mother. A mother that was always there, always sacrificing, gave up things for you and her 3 kids. You know, I had to call some women's. I had to call some Blanches. I had to call Michelle's. I had to call a lot of peoples in my life. I had to call a lot of people that sat around the table. Even though I came to believe that a power greater than myself had did some work on me and have restored me and have brought me to a point in my life that I have learned how to work a program to where it benefits me. You have to work a program where it can identify with you and benefit you at the same time. And that's what I had to do. I had to learn how to do that in order to make it. I didn't want to fail no more. All my life I felt like a failure. I kept getting high day after day, night after night, day after day, night after night. Went to church, so they didn't know I was high. Or they didn't know I had a hangover. Only God knew what was going on with me. Only God knew. And he was getting tired of me playing with him. So somewhere down the line, I had to realize that I'm so grateful. That's why I get on here, because I'm grateful. Because somebody need to hear that. Somebody going through something today. I wish y'all could see the texts that I get. So help me, God. I wish, but it's anonymity. But I wish y'all can see the texts and the phone calls I get. And how I go out my way to go help somebody or take them to an outpatient, inpatient. See, that's the unseen things that y'all don't see. Because I'm not trying to please y'all. I'm doing the will of the God of my understanding to help another addict get their lives together. That's my whole point. It was given to me freely. And why wouldn't I want to help another human being? Because I hope that when I'm gone, that one of my kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews get on, somebody would be like me to help them come through something. Drugs is horrible. I hate this disease. I hate it. I hate what it do to you. I hate how it make you think. I hate how it takes control. I hate how it turns lives around. I hate how it kills you. How you be buried due to overdose and drugs. I hate this disease. And that's why I get on here. I don't let nothing. I can go out of town and still get on. Look, when God gave me this, when I came to believe that a power greater than myself, He didn't set this clock right. When I came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to some sanity, I knew that wasn't going to be an easy one for me. Because that means I let go of something. That means I got a hold to myself. That means that I was willing to let God of my understanding come in and work some miracles on me. And if anybody can work some miracle, it would be Him. If anybody can restore me to out of this misery, this dark place I was living in, it could be Him. I realized that I had to let go so I can let Him come in, so He can change my life. I was tired of living the life I was changing. Some people don't get tired. Some people let go of their kids and never get them back. I know I deal with many kids whose parents don't even try to get their kids back. And that is so sad. That's why I take them. You don't want them? I give them the love and the nurturing and the discipline. I do all that. Because I have love for kids. You can only do that if you love kids. I don't need it. You can't just do it for the money. I got my own money. I worked all my life. I'm going to be 65 Christmas Day if I live and nothing happened. Only through the grace of God. In another month or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, that's a blessing for me. Because I thought Renee would have been dead a long time ago. I tell y'all all the time because I saw me dying. I saw me overdosing. But God had a different plan for me. See, that's why I love the God of my understanding. So when I come to believe in Him, I threw it up. I sit back and I said, well, look at the change. Come on, Renee, what change do you see? Look at the change. Well, when I was using, I couldn't keep nothing. When I was using, I was mispaying bills. When I was using, I lost myself, my mind, my personality, my intuition of wanting to do better. When I was using, I hurt people. When I was using, I didn't care about nobody, not even me. When I was using, I neglected parenting sometimes. When I was using, I didn't take my life seriously. When I was using, my health started to go down that I didn't pay attention to. When I was using, I couldn't keep no tissue paper. I couldn't keep dish liquid. I couldn't, I just couldn't get it together. When I was using, I let the dope man come out and take anything that he wanted. Not that I wanted, that he wanted. So I can go and get high. When I was using, I lost self. When I was using, I woke up living today to use and use to live. So when I look back over my life, I don't care what nobody think. We had crosses we all had to carry. We had We had things that we had to carry that was either like yours or somewhat like yours, but it all was painful and hurtful. So when I came, so that's the change. When I look back on the change, and man, you walk in my house and it's beautiful and it's clean. It's angels everywhere. Angel is for peace for me. I'm about peace. I have to feel nurtured every day in my own house, because sometimes you don't get it out there in the world. The world didn't give me what I got today. It was the God of my understanding and the 12-step program. That's who made me feel important. That's who let me know that I love me. That's who nurtured me. That's who helped me. So what's the difference in now? Oh, you want to know the difference in now? When I come to believe that a power greater than myself, I open some doors for him to come manifest and do some soul searching in me and find me where I was lost and gain some ability to take accountability and to learn how to be responsible, to learn how to get some acceptance, to learn how to love again, learn how to get that word of hate out of my mouth. But it's one thing that I hate, and I hate this disease. And I have to tell you I hate this disease, because I have to keep telling myself over and over again, I hate this disease. So I know I hate it so bad that I would never go back and pick it up again. And that works for me. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me. It works for me. And I learned in this progress, being clean, being clean, that is the greatest gift you can have. Because when you get clean, that means you filtering yourself. That means now the chemicals is slowly going to be removed out of your body. Now you're going to be able to think clearly. You're going to be able to see clearly. You're going to be able to live clearly. You're going to be able to know the difference from right and wrong. You're going to be able to know what I want to do and what I don't want to do. You're going to be able to not filter in because people's is doing this or somebody is doing that. No. You're going to learn when you get clean that you like being clean. You know, when I started getting clean, I didn't think I could ever feel this again. You know, it made me think of when I was 5 and 6 years old, how I was happy and playing and joyful and having a good time. I felt like a baby when I came into recovery. Recovery restored me to some things that I haven't felt in years. Right now, I feel like I can conquer the world with me and God, and me using the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous by myself. That's the feeling and the gift that I get of being clean. Sometimes I do got to sit back and be lonely. Sometimes I do got to get me some me time. Sometimes I do got to have a conversation with a God of my understanding that understands what I'm going through just for today. Some days is better than others. Some days is worse than others. But one thing I know about them days, whether they was good or bad, I didn't pick up and use. I didn't fall for the okie doke. I stayed clean no matter what. And I'm always stay clean because I hate this disease. I hate it so much to where I'm going to keep saying that. Every morning I wake up, I say, God, thank you, but I hate this disease. I hate how it'll make you feel one way when you wake up feeling one way, and then all of a sudden you got to battle these demons or the people that come into your life that want to hurt you or want to say things about you or want to mistreat you or make you feel bad when you do everything and anything for these people. But let people tell you do nothing. I do a lot. Y'all don't understand. I do a lot. I don't lie. I'm not that pretender. When I got clean, it stopped that. Hey, we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to some sanity. When I realized that means I stopped doing everything that I was doing in my life, like lying, manipulate, falsifying, pretending that I got this like this or I got this like that. You know, you ain't got. I always tell her, and sometimes when I see it in my kids, I have to tell them, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to act like you got it like that. You don't have to. That's what got me high. That's what got me out, trying to pretend to fit in, try to act like I got it like this, try to act like I ain't broke, trying to act like, you know, my mental health is all good and it wasn't. I didn't get clean to play around. Anybody who know me know you can't play with me when it comes to recovery. I ain't trying to sleep with Dick, Tom, and Harry. That's out. You know, I want to feel whole. If can't nobody accept you for who you are, and if that person ain't got a God or they understanding in their life, it's already ain't gonna work. I already know that. And it's hard to find them kind of people. And so I'd rather be by myself. And I really ain't by myself. I got you all. I got the meeting. I got the Narcotics Anonymous program. Really, I got a whole more than I used to have when I was using. I got a spiritual part of the church, everybody in the church. I got my sister. I got my kids that came into my house that's still here that I love dearly. So I have a lot. But I don't want to lose none of it. So the only way that I don't lose is be aware of my surroundings. I came to believe, man, do you know what it took for me to come to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to something? This ain't right. It restored me into something better than what I was. Y'all, look, if you ain't never been on drugs, you don't know. If you ain't never drunk alcohol and popped pills or did heroin, you don't know. If you ain't never been out there prostituting and gambling and cutting and hurting yourself, you don't know. You don't know. If you ain't never been a recovering addict or you ain't never been an addict, how you know? I've been it all. I did it all. That's why I can tell you can't win with drugs. Ain't nowhere in the world you're going to win. Ain't nowhere in the world. It would take your life. It would take your demeanor. It would steal your soul. It would steal your ability to love yourself. It would tear down your character, tear down your personality. It would change you into a beast. It would change you into an ugly person. You'll be holding resentments all your life. Look, only way a person gonna heal is when you let a God of your understanding come into your life and restore everything about you. Not just the drugs, not just that. I had too many other addictions. I had thinking addiction, impulsive addiction. I had lying addiction. I had prostituting. Oh, I did it all. I did everything. I lied and I schemed, I stole. But so for him to even want to come in my life and I accept him in my life, and he changed me. He changed everything about me. I hold on to stuff. I don't hold on to stuff no more. I ain't mad at you. I don't like what you done. You hurt me. So now I just remove myself. You don't know what you missing until I remove myself. Because you ain't going to find a better Renee. You ain't going to find that. You can talk about me all you want to. You can do it all you want to. But anybody that know me, I'm going to do my best at anything that I do. No matter what it is. I went through life stumbling, crawling on my legs, looking for drugs that wasn't even there. I went through something to get here. And some of y'all going through something to get here or stay here. You can't let people alter your mood because Satan's still working on you. Even though we recovering, even though we clean, Satan don't like it. He liked us when we was messed up to the floor up. He liked us when we didn't think about being good or thinking about turning over or thinking about changing our lives. He didn't like that. So right now he's still coming at me. And he come at me through my kids. He come at me through my kids. But guess what? I got over that. Because see, that used to hinder me. I got a sister that can tell you, my sister is me and my sister, we have bumped our heads through the years. I ain't gonna lie. We have bumped our heads through the years. Fighting for affection, fighting for... Me and my sister, I didn't always like my sister. I loved her, but I didn't always like my sister when we was coming up. My brother I think about how God just turned everybody's lives around, how they used to jump on me and I would beat them up, and I was the cook when mama go to work, and I'd be cooking and surprise mama when she come in. I was a clean fanatic. I would clean the house. I would do everything. But with time, me and my sister grew. We grew because I nurtured me. She grew because she nurtured her and found the God of her understanding. So we grew. You better not mess with my sister. You better not hurt my sister. Am I my sister keeper? Yes, I am. God had to work on both of us. If you got a family member that really, no matter what you do, that it don't seem like you doing right, or you ain't what they think you should be, you keep healing. You keep working on yourself. If you got one of them kids, there's always one of the kids out the bunch that want to hold you to something you did 30 years ago or 20 years ago. But you keep healing. You always got them kids that want to make you feel like you ain't nobody and you down, and hurt you by words and stuff. But you keep healing. And you keep praying for them kids. You keep praying for your mama. No matter what you do for your mama, you can't get it right. No matter what you do for your mama to try to help her, she's still hindering you in some kind of way. You keep praying for your mama. You keep healing. I'm telling you that you keep healing. It's the healing that brings the best out of you. After I think about, hey, that's step 2, we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to some sanity. Yes, he restored me enough. He's still restoring me. He's still working on me when the demons come in and we have to fight them demons off. When the demon's telling me to do this and I know that's not right in the eyes of God. But the demon, he ain't going to stop. Because he going to come through some kind of way, through your dog, through your kids, through your mama, through your daddy, cousin, nephew, husband, boyfriend. He coming. He ain't let you go because you got clean. He ain't let you go because you made a U-turn in your life and everything is good. He ain't letting you go. No. No, that's his job. It's to steal, it's to hurt, it's to kill, it's to destroy. That's his job. And our job is to heal, to see it when it comes, to know it when it's here, to deal with it without the drugs and alcohol. I can't drink. I can't get high. Because if I do, I don't think I will come back. And that's what I have to tell myself. I will stay out there long enough to die. Because I would be disappointed in myself. I would feel that I let me down and a lot of people that love me and believe me and watch me grow. I can't do that. The most of one I cannot hurt and disappoint is the God of my understanding that helped bring me back to some sanity, that helped nurture you, that helped nurture me, that help us get to a point till we can feel good by ourselves. But we gonna have days where we fight off demons, and them demons can be our kids. The demons can be our mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, husbands and wives and friends. So don't ever don't never underestimate the will of the demon. Because the demon, that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. He know he in hell, and he know he can't get out. So he want to take everybody with him. But I ain't going. I ain't going to hell. I don't want to burn. I try to live my life the way God wants me to live, and that's treat people the way I want to be treated. And if I treat you the way I want to be treated, then you will see the good in me. And you will know the good come from you. I ain't living a lie today. I ain't got to live a lie. I ain't got to be a dressed up lie. I ain't got to wait till somebody say something to piss me off. Do you know how many times that people say things and have hurt me even in a meeting? And I laughed. See, I laughed. And people was like, ooh, in a meeting. I laughed. Because the last laugh ain't on me. It's on you. I know how to get some acceptance to accept things I cannot change. I couldn't change what you just did to me, but I can change how I react towards you for what you said or done to me out in the open. I can do that. I can show you healing. I can show you laughter. Because it was a time I get up and bust your head. It was a time where I get up out of my seat, come where you at and bust your head. That's how I know I done grow. That's how you know I done heal. That's how you know we have changed. That's how you know we done gave up things that we used to feed into. When you change, that's the biggest gift in your life. When God come in here in your life and change and continue to restore you to something that used to wasn't there, that's change. People like, even kids. I noticed that sometimes my kids, when you say something to me and they get mad and angry, they hold on to that stuff. I be laughing. They hold on to stuff. I go in my room so they don't see me laugh. Because I remember I used to be that kid. I remember I had to hold on and you did something to me. Or I be cussing my mama out up under my breath. Because, you couldn't say it out loud to her. Because she would bust you upside your head. My mama didn't play. She was very soft, well-spoken, very sweet and meek. But when she got a little voice go up, that value went up. You better watch out. I love the gift of recovery. I love the journey that I'm on. The journey I'm on said I ain't never got to get up. The journey I'm on my own said I ain't never got to follow nobody else. The journey tells me I ain't never got to have a clique. The journey tells me I can walk with the God of my understanding in the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program and never be alone again. The journey tells me that I worked on me because it'll show. It shows. I see some people like Annie. I see Robin. Lily Wells. I see some people on here that I know that's working on themselves. I know they are. I know they came far. I watch them. I watch them grow. Just like they see me grow, I watch them grow. You can't do nothing but go up when you got the God of your understanding you don't use no more. Can't nobody tell me that we might think that we want to use or the pain get great and we want to get high. But that's a thought. A thought ain't never made it come true. A thought ain't never made you get high, unless you wanted to. I don't care if you got 20 years or 30 years. When the pain get great enough, sometimes we want that drink or sometimes in our minds. But we don't tell everybody. We just don't pick up. And that shows everybody. I come too far. I'm never giving this up. I saw the goodness in recovery. I saw the change in recovery. I saw the love in recovery. I saw the unity in recovery. Why would I want to give that up? Why would I want to not be able to give back to people like it was given to me? I love recovery. I love what it does. I love what it says. I love it tells the truth. I love how it tells you to identify with yourself. I love how, this is another thing I love about all the basic books, Just for Today, and all the other books that they have in the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous. Everything that they put in this book applied to me. Everything. How I needed to move on to get to where I'm going. How did I need to find a new way to live? How unmanageable my life was. I can go on. How I made reservations to go and use. How I was powerless over the things and people's places and things. Hitting the bottom, being in despair, and isolating. I can relate to all that. Being in denial. I went through all these phases. These phases, this disease of an addiction will take you through denial. It'll take you through powerless. It'll take you to hidden bottom. It'll take you to despair and isolation. It'll take you to making reservation. It'll take you to unmanageability when you use it. It'll take you to where you need to surrender. It'll take you where the spiritual principles come into your life. It will take you to moving on. It would take you to better places that you can't stand that. What else did it do? It took my hope. It took my insanity. I had not come to believe that a power, restoration of sanity restored in my life, a power greater than ourselves had made me feel better. Oh, I can go on and go on. The book never stopped. That's why I love reading the book. It never stopped. Sometimes I had to just move on, keep it moving, and keep it going because recovery works. Recovery works. Don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you ain't worthy, you ain't able, or you can't do this. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you ain't nothing. You know, some of my kids done call me out of my name, some of my friends, you know, but guess what? That ain't what I am today. And I'm in a place where now you can call me whatever you want and you can say whatever you want. I moved on from that. He said, well, through the books, it helped me heal. It helped me realize I can't control nobody else's thought, mind, or mouth. I have to only control what's going on with me. And if you learn how to do that, you will be in a better place of healing. When somebody don't treat you right, then you don't need that person. I don't care if it's your kids, your mama, your daddy, your sister. All you got to do is remove yourself. And maybe once you remove yourself, they'll realize, look at yourself. Judge yourself. Look at yourself. Look at everything you have done through your life that's not good at all. And you still working on holding resentment. You still working on holding other people's, hurting other people. You still working on judging everybody, but not looking at self. I ain't judging nobody, because I did it all. The gift of God is the love of God that He have created in me. I ain't got to tolerate you. I can move on wherever it's at. I can move on. It's best that I don't say something sometimes, because that old you can pop it at any given time. I know that for a fact. Thank y'all, for letting me come into your living room. Thank you for letting me come into your house. What time is it? Thank you for allowing me to speak about the truth. I hope I've helped people. What time is it? 3:09. I hope I can do and help somebody. If I help one person, that's better than not helping none. Thank y'all, Lily. I thank y'all, Robin. Thank you, Annie. I thank you, Hester. And I thank all the ones that come on all through the day and all through the night and for the couple of days. Thank you. Maybe you can take what I say and help use it to help somebody else. Or take it to schools, or take it to, I got engagement coming up for a school. I just got the letter. They wanted me to come and speak about drugs and alcohol to the kids. I was very overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed. I'm going to do the, anytime somebody asks me, I do what I'm told when it comes to recovery. I love you. May God continue to bless you. We come through another week of ending. Now we going on to the next week. Stay safe. Watch your surroundings. Don't be out there dark unless it's 2 or 3 of y'all. Start loving on people. Keep loving on yourself. And keep identifying that you are somebody. Bye. See y'all next week. And next week, next week on Sunday. Next week on Sunday, I'll be on step 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. As we understood Him. That's mine too. I like that one too. That's step 3. And that's what step we'll be on. And Friday at 8 o'clock, I come up with something to talk about, which God always give me something to talk about. So may God continue to bless you and love your enemies as well as you love your friends. Because in order to get to a better place, we have to understand how love works. Even love the child that don't love you, or seem like they don't love that child. Pray for that child, because they're going to need it. Your mother, your father, Just pray. I had to get to a point like that. You can't win with me. I'm not breakable. I'm not finna break ever again. Because that's what the books is for. That's what the 12 steps is for, to help us heal so we won't break. So we won't have to break ever again. And I've come to a point in life to accept change. And it's a beautiful thing. And we don't have to pay for it. All we do is live our lives, help another individual. That's it. That's all. And love ourselves. And if we love ourselves, really, truly love ourselves, guess what? We can love anybody. God bless you. Stay safe. See y'all next week, Friday at 8 o'clock. And if ain't nobody told you that they love you, tell them that Miss Renee says she love y'all. To the moon and back. I truly love everybody. Bye, y'all. Bye.